record. Perfect. Okay, everybody. After a decently length hiatus, we are back in the game. Very excited. To give us a bit of a recap, up until very recently, the party has spent a great deal of time battling / following in the footsteps of Hedrun the Ice Witch. Hedrun being a spirit from a long time ago and a distant relative of Ibrin. The party realized that over time here that she was becoming a bit of a larger threat. Encountered her in the what's it called? Sunblight Fortress, or her simulacrum in Sunblight Fortress, and then encountered her in the Druid Grove after Aethros had a vision of her infiltrating in order to attempt to take hold of Ziena, one of the Snow Elf sisters, as part of her ritual to resurrect herself. Ensuing a large battle in the Druid Grove, the party slew the ice serpent that had been plaguing them previously. Was not able to stop her from taking Ziena. The party got new transportation. Cue a large montage of the party making their way all the way up to essentially the Ziggurat, with Ono and Biktun as still part of the crew. The party infiltrated the Ziggurat after blowing a hole in the doorway with the Shiraha living airship. Ensued an absolutely enormous battle that took many a session to get through. And the party ended up victorious in its pursuits of destroying Hedrun, though not without a cost, as Ono had sacrificed himself to send Ibrin and Miras and Irini over to the remainder of the party, who was fighting Hedrun herself, while they were dealing with a final simulacrum of Sephikaltro. In completing this victory, the party got some loot from a treasure room behind where the resting chamber had been, ranging from a tablet for Ibrin that helped boost his psionic powers to a greatsword that is, I believe, called Oral's Bane, to a couple of other items that were inside the chamber. After this battle, Biktun had kind of lost a bit of his drive. He had been a part of the stopping of the very person who had slaughtered his entire clan, and had lost a very close friend of his. The party rested in Shiraha for the evening before waking up and finding that Biktun had left. The party, with Captain Aethros now at the helm, made their way to Termalaine, where they had, I believe, stopped to maybe gather some resources, and had met a new and interesting, rather short individual, now known as Maleg, I believe, is what I believe you introduced yourself officially, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. To at the very least the two members of the party who had found you out while you were wandering the streets. Seemed interesting enough, and originally the Snow Elf sisters were going to be dropped off here, and I believe the party was going to begin their pursuit, maybe for Valen's quest, maybe not. It's been a little while. We can decide that, or the party can decide that in a moment. And then, actually no, I believe Aethros then determined, why don't we just go to Targos, and if we get supplies, great. But at the very least, the Snow Elf sisters won't have to travel on foot the entire way there, to which they took up the offer to travel with the party to Targos. And I believe that's kind of where we ended it, was the party was getting ready to travel on... Well, no, they were just setting out of Termalaine towards Targos in Shiraha. And Captain Aethros, as you were scanning the snowy horizons, because the ship can give you vision out to about a mile, as long as it's clear enough weather, you see in the distance a lone wandering traveler making their way, trudging through the snow. A tall individual with, I believe, a rather large sword strapped to their back. As we're going to pick things up there. Everybody who isn't Ono or Biktun is back on the ship, and the ship is trekking through the snow, making decent pace towards the city of Targos.
Alright. So I see this mysterious figure in front of me and thinking, I could run him over, no one would know. And I do a wisdom check. No. I give us a second to think, like, do we want to take on any more people? We just got this new guy, don't really know him.
I kind of do like a half-hearted wave towards the ship.
Yeah,
he wants to get run over. He wants it. He's begging for it.
I'm never going to be able to pronounce your character's name 100% correctly. I apologize in advance.
That's fine. Like I said, we can just go with Junior Steen. That works.
Junior Steen, you would see this large vessel, weirdly, in comparison to like what you've seen for like snow sleds or like ships in the past, this ship is traveling, like trekking right through the snow in your direction. You can see it at this point. I'd say it's probably about maybe a half a mile out. Like your vision, you can see out far enough where you can at least make out the silhouette of this thing making its way towards you.
Yeah, I guess I probably don't really have the full scale of it, which is why I'm like, hey. And as I would say, as he gets closer, I definitely get a lot more guarded because, like you said, this is huge.
Do I have a good feel for how quickly this thing can stop yet? I've only been piloting it or piloting it for a short amount of time.
You were.
I want to try and just slam on the brakes at the last second and just stop like as close as possible to them.
Okay. I would say make an Arcana check. As I don't think you've ever had. I don't even know if anybody has ever had to physically slam on the quote unquote brakes in this thing, but it'll give you an idea as to maybe how much space you need to last minute stop.
I don't get any bonuses to Arcana, so
Godspeed.
I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Yeah, I'd allow it.
Like, I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay, 15.
Oh my God! Like, you'll give me some advice, right?
You feel that for you to adequately stop as quickly as possible, you would probably need to stop about 1/8 of a mile out. This thing has a lot of weight, and putting it on the brakes, even like with its like fins that like kind of flow here and there with the wood, like in the snow to try and like slow you down faster. You estimate you probably need about 1/8 of a mile to come to a stop.
Okay. Aethers also can't judge distance, so this is gonna be like, puts its thumb out, like, yeah, that's close enough, right? And then just slams on the brakes.
Okay. Junior Steen, are you going to like kind of stay where you are, or are you going to like try and move out of the way as it's approaching? You can also, if you want to estimate if you can tell if it's stopping, I would say you could probably make, for you it wouldn't be an Arcana check, it'd be I would say for you it'd be an investigation. No,
okay.
An insight, sorry. An insight check.
That would have been really bad. I just see all my investigations. I'm terrified of intelligence rolls.
Oh, yeah. Same.
You said, what did you say? Insight?
Insight.
Perfect. Very insightful.
So as it gets closer, there's a moment where you initially can't tell that it's slowing down, and then at about roughly about 1/8 of a mile out, you see that the fins on the side of this vessel kind of strike into the ground, to begin slowing this massive wooden whale-shaped ship down in order to slow it down to come to a stop about right within, I'd say, about let me roll a 6-sided die.
Within 6 inches.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. Just like right up against you.
About 3 feet. It comes to that stop, like, yeah, within a small panic's distance, but you can tell that it was slowing down.
Now, is this thing like, because it's an airship, so is it like floating, or is there tracks, or like, like, I guess giant skis or something that like?
Honestly, it moves almost like a whale would through the water. So like it
Okay,
has
so it's
like fin, it has a fin in the back that kind of begins to push it. You haven't been able, like, you're like, as a whole for Shiraha, it has the capability to fly, like, out of character here.
Yeah.
But you have not found something to give it enough power to do so.
Okay, so it's like still on the ground. It's not like hovering or anything.
Correct. It's like gliding through the snow. Like there's tracks behind. There's tracks behind it as it moves.
Okay, perfect. Because I want to, as it starts coming to a stop, I kind of like, since I can kind of tell that it's gonna stop, I just like brace myself and make it look like I'm ready to take this thing on, and just like hold my shield up to it. I think I have a shield on it, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And just like hold my shield up to it, like I'm gonna stop it with my shield, and then when it stops, I go, "Oh, all right, that works too." I haven't decided whether I want to do a voice or not. I'm terrified of that.
Oh yeah. No.
I don't want to commit to it.
Uh-huh. Like every now and then pull out a voice, but otherwise,
Yes.
be stupid for Aethros. It's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as it stops, then I'd like to look for, I guess, where people would be, like if there's a door on the side, or wherever it would be that I would, that I could reasonably expect people to poke their heads out at least.
Okay. As the ship comes to a close, you take a few, like, it being rather large and in your face, you take that moment to like walk off to the side. Most ships have some form of like whether it's like a plank that comes down or like something embedded in the side, so you begin looking for that. And you see about halfway down, not about halfway, I say about a third of the way down the ship, towards like the lower area of the main deck, there's almost like a wooden ladder embedded on the side of the vessel.
Yeah, I want to approach that, but I don't want to like just assume and start climbing. I just want to be like, ready to greet. Like, I don't want to just like, make any assumptions and start storming the ship because I don't know who's on it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Valid. Okay, so you kind of like position yourself in a place to at least be able to greet anybody who comes out. Does anybody come out to the top deck? I guess, has Aethros even communicated that there's a person that they stopped for?
Oh no, I haven't told anyone at all why we're stopping.
So Maleg and like everybody who's like down maybe on the second deck, so Miris, all of you just feel the ship come to a stop. Like the brakes have been slammed. You kind of like have to adjust yourself, grabbing onto one of the pillars that kind of like supports this whole deck here as the ship comes to a grinding halt in the snow. No communications have been given to you from Captain Aethros as to why.
I would, if there's like a moment of hesitation, I would just, kind of lean back just a little bit and cup my hands over my mouth and go, "Fail."
So I'm a small guy. How far would I fly during these breaks?
That's right. You're like 10 inches tall, aren't you?
Pretty aerodynamic for what I'm wearing too.
I would say make a acrobatics check. See
All
how.
right, what die is that one?
So if you So you could. There's a nice shortcut that you can go to if you open up your character sheet.
Yeah.
On the first page, it's going to be a dexterity-based roll, but if you click on acrobatics on the skills page, it'll roll you a die with your proficiencies.
All right, so I'm on the character page. Where do I go again now?
So if you're on
acrobatic.
there
The
you
little
go.
clear one. Yep.
I just do normal roll.
Yep, normal roll. Very nice.
Holy cow!
A 9. All right.
Feeling this thing come to a more of a grinding halt, being very lightweight, very small, you feel yourself kind of slide forward, and you're able to, after about, I would say maybe 5 or 6 feet, as you're coming to a halt rather quickly, you grab onto like the, what's it called, like the vice grips that are sitting on one of the workstations in this on the second story of Shiraha, and it kind of keeps you from moving a little bit farther. It strains your arms a little bit as this thing comes to a halt so fast. But you are eventually able to let go and kind of like, shake out your arm a little bit and rejoin the group of people who are here. Irini would look at all of you, Miras, Maleg, and like the Snow Elf sisters and stuff, and be like, well, I don't think we're in Targos quite yet. Aethros! And she would like try to call out to you, like, why did we stop?
There's someone in the way. I didn't want to run him over.
And you would Aethros technically could hear it, but everybody else would also hear. I was gonna say, why don't we run him over? But he didn't want to. And just like, she's gonna start making her way to the top deck.
Yeah, I go up to the top deck as well. Peek my head over the railing. See this guy.
Nick, do you want to describe your character?
I am a. The race itself is a Goliath. I'm sure you guys remember when I was creating this, but just a very tall, very pale, honestly, not very nice to look at person. He just has like an eternal scowl of just anger, and he does not mess around yet. But just wearing some very, very ornate armor, with a, like Dakota said before, with a very large sword strapped to my back, and a very cool looking shield with my what is the word? Not village or clan, but like the crest of like my
Tribe?
my liege. Yeah, tribe. That's the word. On it, and that's pretty much it. He's about as no frills as he gets outside of his armor.
Yeah. I'm looking down at this guy and I'm like, where are you heading to? What are you doing out here all in the middle of nowhere?
Well, this
Why are you running away?
well, I mean, I've never seen something so large just plow through the snow like this. And as for where I was going, I've been tasked by my liege to figure out what's going on down here and why this rhyme hasn't ended yet.
You came down here. So you came way far north. What's north of here?
I live up in the mountains.
Oh, cool. Well, we best be getting off, right? And I look to anyone else on the ship deck, like,
Where be you heading?
we're going to, Targos. Going.
Is there anything you can do you guys know what's going on with this rhyme and why it hasn't ended yet?
Yeah, so there's this evil frost goddess person thingy that's cursing the land, and yeah, we're gonna ignore it eventually. It's just we got some other stuff to do, so we got it all
Well,
covered if that helps you out.
I mean, if you'd like, I may or may not be the greatest warrior in this land.
Well, which one is it? Because one of those sounds very useful, the other one sounds very useless.
Well, I don't like to brag about myself, so nonetheless, I can guarantee that you could use a warrior like me.
Okay. Does he seem like he's a good warrior?
Yes, he's being genuine. He just doesn't know how to communicate.
Looks like the perfect kind of person for Arabs. Yeah. There's, I mean, we got some spare room on the ship if you want to join us for now.
I don't need much. I've come to help. I've been tasked, and I will not fail my liege.
Who is your liege? Because maybe I don't like him. Maybe I've met him before.
You know not of him, and we do not typically leave the mountains.
Is his name Carl? Because I met a guy named Carl in the mountains. He was a jerk.
No, everybody knows that Carl's an asshole.
Oh, isn't he?
You would hear Irini chime in. He's kind of ugly to look at, but I kind of like the cut of his jib.
Wow, you shallow bitch. You say something like that.
Just
what?
because he looks good doesn't mean he's cool.
Yeah. You know what? What's your name? I.
My name is. I'm not gonna say this without laughing. My name is Ewok Kodiad Sigurd Junior Steen.
That's a long name.
Alright, you walk on yet.
You can call me Junior Steen.
Can I just
Can I
call
call
you
you
Junior?
Ewok?
Yeah, you can. Honestly, really, I guess I don't ultimately care. Most people call me Junior Steen. That's the easiest one. But you can realistically, you can call me whatever you'd like.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Ewok.
Sounds good.
Irini's like, I'm gonna call you Junior.
Like I said,
All right.
it's okay, cool. Like, all right,
Yeah.
can I come up now?
Yeah. You can come on up. Also, you can stay in Irini's room with her. There's plenty of space for you there. I'm sure the two of you will get along great. Hell, she already loves you.
I didn't sign up for that.
As your captain, I'm ordering it.
All I need is but a bunk and nothing else. Holy cow! Is it just me or
No. I was
is
gonna say, Ben, you've been cutting out like crazy.
Yeah, I
really?
was hearing that too.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I'll see if I can use my phone to be a little better.
It's like for the most part I was able to understand it, and then this one was just
Yeah.
like,
That was like when I was when I used to listen to music with like actual headphones back in the day, not Bluetooth ones, and you like twist the jack and
Like one goes in, one goes out, and you try to even it out. I got so frustrated that I used to just tie knots all over my headphones, and it just looked like a bunch of bow ties.
All right. Is this a little better?
oh my
Yeah.
god.
considerably.
Yeah.
So much better.
Okay. Well, sorry about that, but
You're good, man.
so yeah, Ewok, you're more than welcome to join us. Get on up here.
All right. Like clamber in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you make your way up the wooden stairs and finding yourself on this top deck of this massive whale-shaped ship that's been carving through the snow. You see this large cylindrical dome, or not dome, this large cylinder that like is sprouted by almost like two trees, instead of where masts should be. Currently residing, mostly empty with the exception of a almost like a red-hued water coming through the inside. You see that there's like this arcane energy coming from somewhere deep within the ship that seems to be fueling this in some way, shape, or form. As you reach the top deck, you see that how tall is Junior Steen?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is he taller or as tall as Biktun was?
Let me see if I wrote anything down. I sure didn't. I'm gonna say he's taller.
So you kind of look down and you tower over the members of the crew who have come out to visit. Those being the main cast members here. The Snow Elf Sisters and Valine did not choose to come out to say hi. And you see Irini, this satyr with very nicely very nice clothing, really showing off her figure. And she just like looks up at you. I don't like the idea of us sharing a room, Junior, but if that's what the captain ordered, then I guess, welcome. When you go downstairs, we're the room on the right. Just don't go through my stuff. But it's a pleasure to meet you.
May I make a request, actually? Is there a place that I can sleep outside while remaining on the ship?
You could sleep in the cannon if you want.
I don't know that I should trust you when you say that.
Oh, by the way, we got a cannon. I don't know if you saw that when I, drove up.
I don't believe I did, but
It's really cool. You should fire it at some time. So
very
much fun.
helpful.
But yeah, you can sleep on the deck of the ship. I just figured you'd want to sleep inside because it's cold out.
I actually prefer the cold. We don't have much shelter from it up in the mountains.
I mean, yeah, you're welcome to sleep out here. That works out for me. And then you just hear her as she's like walking back towards like the inside. I got my own room, guys. And just like disappears below deck.
Was there like a separate like actual bunk in there, or are they like built into the side?
There was two beds, one on each side of the room. So like Biktun and Athros had like, yeah, it was like almost like an in style room where like there's a window, there's a small like dresser on each side, and then there's like bunks. You can tell it was like set up to be like a small crew that would man this vessel as needed.
So what you're saying is I could like the beds can be moved.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'd like to go in there and just pick it up and carry it with me out to the deck.
A bed that's like 2 feet short for you.
Yeah.
Irini being like super excited to have her own room. You just like walk inside, you in this towering form, grab the bed and like frame it all. You and your massive strength, and just like begin hauling it out from the room. And she's just like standing there like, what the fuck did I just witness?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to imagine that I feel like even though I never really watched the show, I know at least a few of you have, but I feel like I'm just like the mountain in here.
Oh, absolutely.
Giant.
10 out of 10, that is exactly what you are. As you take your newfound bed, haul it up the stairs, back out into the cold, and place it wherever your heart desires.
Right in the
I lean over.
Right in the dead center of the deck, by the way.
Checks out.
I want to like lean over to Irini and whisper like, do we got like another Cephalic Keltro on our hands? Like, he doesn't mind the cold at all. That's kind of weird.
I mean, I didn't get a good look at his eyes, but they didn't really. You know how like Cephalics were like this weird piercing blue. His didn't look that blue. Were they even blue? And she like begins to like doubt herself.
Yeah. Like if we can see Junior from here, like I want to yell over like, "Hey, Junior!"
Yes.
I want to do a perception check. Look at his eyes.
Go for it.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
They are a color.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from where you're at right now.
Marina, I
What
can't tell.
What do you
Are we
want?
gonna have to kill him?
Hey, man, what color are your eyes?
Honestly, I genuinely don't know.
Well, yeah. How's he supposed to know? He can't look at his own eyes.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. And she like walks up to
I
him.
walk. Yeah.
And she's just
yeah.
like, she wants to, just like get a good look. Like you see her like, like squint her eyes a little bit and like look at your eyes. What color is Junior Steen's eyes?
We're gonna look right now. I'm gonna spin a wheel because
Yeah,
I never
there you
chose
go.
anything. Sure. Oh Lord, there's some colors on here. All right, that's all right. Listen here, I feel attacked. They're gray.
She would turn back to Aethros. I think we're good.
I like to think they're very dull too. Honestly, probably just about the opposite of that piercing.
Like, hmm.
He looks a little dead inside, but not like Sefik dead.
Okay, you can stop criticizing the man about his looks, all right, Arini? Come on.
Yeah, okay.
You know, some people would think you're ugly.
Psh,
You
Beauty is
certainly.
nobody thinks I'm ugly. And she just stouts with her ego.
I look over at Spit, like, do you think she's ugly, Spit? Like, say yes, Spit. Say yes.
And you just see Irini, yeah, Spit, do you think I'm ugly? And then you see like Spit like twist his like leg on the deck of the ship. Spit no wanna answer.
I won't say you're ugly, but I certainly haven't seen anybody with so much color to them before.
You would hear Irini say, "Oh, thank God, I thought you were gonna say bosom." And then she just like disappears. She's like, "Yeah, I'm colorful. That's what I do. I play instruments, and I'm good at insulting people, and firing lasers from my hand."
Yeah.
What? Is she telling the truth?
I mean, yeah, magic. Come on. You don't do magic?
I mean, yeah, I know some magic, but like, I didn't. Okay, that was just a weird combination of things. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, she's special in a special way.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm
pretty
saying.
stupid,
Like, yeah, you're probably better off not staying in the same room as her.
I cannot handle you.
Hot calling the kettle black there.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's just a conversation between two dumbasses too. Because like I am also not very smart.
Oh my God! I
I
didn't
think
see
I'm
your
a-
intelligence until now.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't worry, you don't need to be smart to make it in life. I'm the captain of the ship.
It seems like we're well, you seem like a pretty smart guy to me.
Oh yeah.
It feels like we have Aethros and serious Aethros right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a moment of panic. I had to look to see who has the highest intelligence right now, and I am grateful. I was like, where's our intelligent people? And then I saw, and I was like, okay, all hope is not lost.
Oh yeah, because we lost Ono, so we don't have,
Yeah,
blue
I am-
there.
because I intentionally dumped in, and then you goaded me into talking it down further and further until I was on the border of not being able to read.
100%.
Uh-huh.
Oh God. Yeah. So you set up your bed in the middle of the deck. I envision maybe taking like some form of like rope to like fasten it to like the one of the massive like tree trunks that like make up the masts of this vessel, or free sliding it wherever the ship goes. But as the party sort of gets to know a little bit about their newest traveling companion, the ship being at a standstill in the middle of the frozen boonies.
Mm-hmm. Well, we should probably get a move on if we want to make it to Targos before it gets dark, right?
You would.
Don't know what time it is.
It's about midnight.
Yeah, we should get there before it gets dark. This is not dark, right? Okay.
You would for the first time since like joining the ship, Junior Steen, you would see an elf come out from the lower deck and look over at you, look over at the party, kind of coming up at that last remark from Athros, and you would just hear Atina come up. Athros, you do know that it's always dark up here due to the rime, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why it's gonna get darker. Just not midnight yet, right? Like it can still get a little darker.
I suppose
right?
If the moon doesn't rise super high into the sky, or if it's snowing, it can get darker.
Yeah. But we should get a move on, right?
I think that would be wise. And Atina would come up.
Well, I know it's wise because I'm the captain. So we're gonna do what I say.
Very well, Captain Athros.
Damn right. I say that under my breath, hoping she doesn't hear it.
If you're saying it and hoping she doesn't hear it, I want you to roll a stealth check for me.
Okay. Stealth.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna compare that to a perception check from her. I doubt she's gonna hear it because I know that she doesn't normally hear that stuff. But let's see. Nope. As you utter something, she like turns back to like see, like to look in your direction, but can't hear what you said, and then turns back to face the newest traveling companion. Junior Scene, you would see this this elven woman with white hair, or about like, as far as physical age and appearance, she's probably about 19 to 20 in like equivalent years. Wearing these long white robes with a bit of white fur that kind of ruffles on the top. You see that she has these piercing blue eyes, and is wearing some form of symbol of Oral around her neck. It is a pleasure to meet you, Junior Steen.
Yes. I'm grateful that you guys have taken me in to help you end this horrific rime.
I can tell, and I've seen that you've been traveling for some time before we found you. Please do take time, rest. The worst of this is unfortunately still to come. All in due time, of course.
Wait, how do you know it's going to get worse? It's going to get better, right? We're going to stop it.
I do certainly hope you do. Very, very cryptic coming out of Atina.
Yeah.
Something you guys haven't experienced. Especially Maleg has definitely not experienced this, being Brandy new himself.
Insight? Like, what's going on with this? Like, I'm suspicious of her. Like, what are you getting at? Like, you don't trust us anymore? Or, like, after Hedrun, like, is she different? Like,
well, you can tell that...
Can she still be trusted?
So, she's mentioned it, but you kind of get the vibe coming from her now that the knowledge that she's gained after the battle with Hedrun is a combination of both Hedrun's knowledge herself of events going on in the north and Grand Priestess Phrygia, having essentially a meld of both that druidic and divine magics. You do know that as the days have been going on, or the time has been going on, because it's only been like a day and a half since the battle, that her power has seemingly continued to grow and like adapt to like her body, and that she essentially, just like Phrygia or Hedrun could, she can see pretty much everything under Aurel's domain at this point. So anything that Aurel's snow touches, if she wanted to hone in on that, she could. She hasn't given a lot of like information about things going on, but without knowing Junior Steen's name, you know that she addressed him as Junior Steen, and that she knows that he's been traveling. But she hasn't. You don't give a reason to. You don't get like a hostile vibe from her or like one of distrust. More so, just you can tell she knows something that maybe she hasn't communicated.
All right. Yeah, I guess I won't say anything to her about it now. Just keep that in mind, like she's holding something back. But yeah, I'll go back to piloting the ship to take us to Targos.
Okay. As Aethros, you kind of put the helm back on, re-acclimating yourself to be essentially like you are one with the ship and the ship is one with you. As you command it to move forward, you feel the fins that guide along the sides that have been used as a brake to slow down rather quickly rise and almost begin to glide across the snow. The fin in the back swaying back and forth, swimming almost essentially through the snow. Junior Steen, you would feel the rumble as this begins to. Well, Junior Steen and Maleg would feel the rumble as this thing begins to move forward, and it almost feels as though you're riding on a whale itself. In the brief experiences that either of you would have either visibly seen, or in some cases, if fishing near the sea of moving ice or on an adventure out near that far, visually seen some form of like whale or encountered one previously. As the ship begins to move forward once again, the majority of the party, I assume, would venture below deck, with the exception of anybody who'd stay on top deck. You would see that Atina would stay on the top deck near the front of the ship, kind of watching where the group is going. Is there anything that anybody wants to do in the meantime as the party continues their travels to Targos?
No, nothing that I can think of.
And I can think of right now either.
Nope.
Okay. Alright, as the night continues to grow just a little bit darker, the moon being nothing more than a small, essentially a fingernail in the sky, a small croissant, as the party makes their way to Targos. Even out about a mile, Aethros, you would begin to see the familiar sight of a large walled structure with some smoke and torchlight kind of emanating out from both the front entryway as well as like rising up into the air from what seems to be towns using fire for heat, or something burning inside the village. But you don't see. It's not like the smoke itself is in plumes that would indicate that the city's on fire. Just enough to let you know that there is civilization that's active. As you begin to approach the city, you would be about a mile out at this point, as you would see it in your vision.
Okay. Yeah, just take the ship into or near the city and stop it at the gate or just outside, off to the side.
Okay.
And let everyone know we're here, or we're at Targos.
As you okay. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, do we need to stop here for anything specific, or is this just pit stop because we're going to Bryn Chandler, right? Drop off the sisters.
You would hear like, I think Ebrin would probably be the one who would chime in here. Well, the sisters need to go to Targos, so we're dropping them off here, and then I think we could go wherever we needed to.
Hey. Okay.
As the party, as the vessel comes to a much nicer stop, unless you're going to just use emergency stop for your standard braking procedures. Should be hilarious. Be like watching like a student driver, like every break. As the vessel comes to a stop, a little bit nicer this time, it being late in the evening. Some of the party members, like Ebrin and Irini, would have taken a moment just to take like a quick nap of some sort. You guys had rested right before you left to come here. As the ship comes to a stop, you would see the Snow Elf sisters as well as Valine, who remained inside the ship on the lower deck, so the very, very bottom of the ship. They kind of come out from the stairs that lead down to that like cargo area of the lower deck, and look around and see the party kind of all gathered here. Maitra and Ziena would kind of look around and look for Atina, and you would hear Irini say, "She didn't really come back inside. She was hanging out outside last time we were there. She's probably still there." As the two sisters would go up to the top deck, you would see Valine look to all of you. "I assume our time here is going to be short, correct?"
Yeah, I would assume so. Why, you in a hurry to go somewhere?
"Well, yes, I'm in a hurry to make our way to Revel's End to speak to a former comrade, to help us find our way, well, give us information that they had acquired. We've talked about this before. The party's taken their sweet time."
Okay.
She, like, as this conversation is kind of like awkward to her, she like makes her way to the top deck, and you would see Irini and Ebrin. They look at the rest of you, new and continuing members. "Maybe go into town, resupply, drop off the sisters, in and out, maybe a couple hours." Irini would like look to Ebrin. "I know you've been talking about trying to maybe find some items that maybe we can't always find in like normal shops, right?" And Ebrin would like look to Irini. "Yeah, I think I want to take a walk around town and look for maybe written on some of the buildings like some thieves' cant. See if I can find maybe an underground dealer of some sort."
That sounds like fun.
"Well, hey, if you want to join me, maybe having an extra person might, or people, I guess. Anybody else wants to come, maybe it would, help me guarantee I'd walk out of there alive."
I'll come too.
I'm sure you're fine murdering everyone you come across. You're Ebern after all.
You just hear him like talk a little bit quieter, like, "I'm trying to get better about that." Just like,
Are you trying to get better? You're trying to get better at killing. I mean, let's be real.
"Hey, if you've..." It's just like, And Ibram would start going into his normal monologue about the trauma that he has experienced up to this point.
Yeah.
With the party that you've heard at least 10 to 12 times before.
Oh yeah. Just like word for word following along with what he's about to say.
Literally like being able to like almost mouth it at this point.
Yep.
And you would hear Irini like at this point just being kind of also getting like, you know, irritated with the amount of time she's heard it. You would just hear her start playing like a violin like in the background, like just like super somber. And Ibram would be like, "Would you cut that out?" And then she would be like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I was just practicing my violin."
Yeah.
And
she's a performer. She's got to perform.
Yeah, Ibram, this is what I do.
Yeah.
As Ibram would look to you, Maleg. What about you? Are you in, or do you have other plans in Targos? I guess we really don't know you well enough, and same thing with our friend Ewok upstairs.
Oh, join on this adventure.
All right, so it's settled. And like, I guess at that point, Ibram and Irini, and probably, I mean, minimally, Ibram, Irini, and Spit would make their way up to the top deck if everybody wants to join, or if anybody has anything they need to do down here.
I've just been playing cards with myself quietly.
Playing some runic solitaire.
Yep.
Yeah. Athros definitely isn't just, like, touching the deck of many things that's in his pocket. Like, nope.
I forgot about that. It's been over a month. How did I forget? Gotta whip out that freaking Excel sheet.
Yeah. I don't need to draw a card right now. I'm good. I don't have a problem. I can. Yeah.
Are you just feeling it in your pocket, like rubbing your
Wisdom
fingers over it?
Wisdom
just like tapping it. Just like, yep, it's still there. It's okay.
Wisdom.
I can draw a card anytime I want. I don't need to do it right now. Yeah. And Aethers is just talking to himself
Wisdom
at this point.
Like verbally, like loud enough for people to hear, or just like mouthing it kind of to yourself, like, I don't need it. I don't need to do this. I don't need to draw a card from this.
It's very quiet. It's more so like people could see him like mouthing the words probably before they would hear it. Or it would be easier for them to see that than to hear it.
As like the party makes their way upstairs, there'd be kind of a small gathering around where Junior Steen is currently residing, playing cards by himself, although now with an audience. And Aethros, you would see Matra like look over at you and give you this like inquisitive look, and she's just like, I'm pretty good at understanding lips most of the time, but I can't understand what sort of like incantation you're trying to say here. Her not understanding at all what you were mouthing to yourself.
Like, it's nothing. It's just, I'm praying to my God. That's what I'm doing, okay?
Oh, okay. So sorry, I just misread the situation. And
quick deception check for that.
Oh god, now I'm just like, it'd be her insight. I'm gonna contest it. Let's see.
Yeah.
She does not have a great wisdom score, so still enough though. She rolled a 10. She's like, oh, so sorry. She like pauses like mid sentence. You were not praying to your god. What's going on, Aethros? What's going on?
Don't worry about it.
What's going on, buddy?
No.
Is she like, nah, you're hiding something.
Good.
You're hiding something. Are you cursed?
I'm not hiding something.
Does someone have to uncurse you?
No, I'm not cursed. Do you think someone this amazing would be cursed? No. Just I'm fine. Relax. It's all gonna be good. I don't have a problem.
I'm not the
As
sharpest
I'm still
person
just tapping
here,
the deck.
but even I know that when someone says I'm fine, that usually means they're not fine. Can anybody back me up here? You just see Irini and be like, Aethros, what's in your pocket, buddy?
Nothing.
Listen here, I will pull you by your ear if you don't tell me what's in your pocket.
It's just a deck of cards, okay? No big deal. I
At the
don't
mention of
have
a deck of cards, I look up and I'm just like, "You also like to play?"
Irini would immediately just interrupt what conversation could be happening here. You don't want to play with these cards. He plays with a very it's a very out there deck.
I play with all cards of any types.
It's a very high stakes game that I play, okay?
I'm fine with that.
Oh dear God. Yeah, you were just like Irini like visibly irritated and be like, you know what? It's your funeral. And she just like gives you this like score like this like not shameful look, but like just this look of like disapproval, like don't do it, whatever you do, Athros. And then just like her and like the Snow Elf sisters are begin to like climb off the edge of the ship. Don't do it.
I mean,
You're better than this, Athros.
Am I? Do I ever listen?
Absolutely.
I'd like to roll persuasion.
Oh, if you want to, go for it.
Yeah, come on, let's play. I play, as you see, I'm playing right now. I like to play with all cards.
And this is where Junior Steen met his end.
I guess, what would I counter that with? Like, do I want to make a wisdom save to see, if I...
Are you actively, like, trying to resist him?
Trying to resist him, trying to resist the urge to pull a card from the deck of many things. Athos definitely doesn't, but does have a problem.
I would say, okay, if you're actively trying to resist pulling the cards, and also he's trying to persuade you to let him draw a card, I'm going to say make a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage. Okay. We know that Athros has a problem. We know this. This has been established, and it did not help with Biktun being in the party before. But with your buddy being gone, the urge to draw from the deck has, if anything, it's continued to grow. And him talking and Junior Steen trying to talk into drawing cards himself is not helping this this habit that you have. You feel an urge to you yourself draw a card, but you also feel an urge to let him draw one. He's kind of persuasive. You can choose which order. I'm going to say both of you are going to end up drawing 2 cards.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Junior. This is a very special magical deck of cards. Great things can happen, but also some pretty bad things. You might want to take everything off. Being like, not hold on to anything while you draw cards from this deck.
You hear Spit say, like, starts chanting, strip, strip, strip.
Zero hesitation, I strip.
Alright, so here's how this is going to go. I want to put the deck of cards down. You're going to draw 2 cards, okay?
Okay.
And then stuff might happen. And we'll figure it out as we go, okay? But to start with 2
Sounds like a
cards.
plan to me. How do you win this game?
The cards will let you know if you won or lost.
Oh, I like these cards.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Okay. Junior Steen, I want to, as you draw your 2 cards from the deck, I want you to roll 2 D100s for me.
Oh no.
And for context, Joe, this deck of, in case you have not heard, this is the wild deck of many surging things, which crosses the wild magic surge table with a deck of many things. So it is, it's a bit crazy.
Isn't that the one isn't that the thing I first met the guys and I'm trying to pull a card out and they're like, don't do it?
there was a moment there where I think it was, Saloon was like, you probably shouldn't let him do that. There was some divine intervention on session 1.
The first thing I did was let me see the cards.
I feel less bad with, with Junior Steen because freaking Biktun has drawn cards previously. I feel less sympathy there.
Yeah, no, You can absolutely punish me because I've already had 2 characters now. I'm not afraid of a third. No touch, please.
All right, my first question.
Please excuse the extra. Please excuse the extra noises as we have a 2.5-year-old out here with us. So
No worries.
Because it was Junior Steen who drew first. My question is, how close is everybody to Junior Steen?
oh no.
I'm probably like 10 feet away just because I know, bad things could happen. I'm like ready for anything to happen. Like,
Okay.
Am I in the same room too? Do I need to roll anything to see how
If you're-
close I am to him?
If you are, I guess, when you envision this conversation, because I imagine everybody moved up to the top deck, do you envision yourself within 30 feet of Junior Steen?
I'll say we get one new one, but one old one.
Yeah, you freaking. This is like the 3rd time I think you guys have landed on 64.
It sure is. And it's very helpful because now we have coverage again.
Yeah, no kidding.
yep.
Well, I missed that, Malik. Did you say that you envision yourself within 30 feet, or not within 30
Yeah,
feet?
because I assumed when the cards were talked about, I'm like, oh, did you bring out the cards again? So I'm probably up there.
Okay. What about you,
And
Mears?
Knowing what could happen, I'm keeping my distance a bit.
Okay.
By the way, I officially am like buck naked, like as naked as naked.
Yeah. Just Goliath.
Cheeks,
naked.
cheeks flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I imagine that Ebrin would have kept his distance given his experiences, but Spit would probably be within the 30 feet because he's excited.
I'm terrified why you keep talking about 30 feet.
Okay, hold on, I gotta roll something quick.
Oh, no.
Okay, so it would be Athros, Maleg, and Spit, because the rest of the party members have, well, either kept their distance or, like in the case of Arini, have begun wandering into town. All 3 of you take 9 necrotic damage, and
Okay.
Junior Steen, you gain 27 temporary HP.
Hey. Oh, so I don't lose any?
You don't lose any. Everybody else, each creature within 30 feet of you takes 1d10 necrotic damage, and you gain temporary hit points equal to the sum of the necrotic damage
That's
taken.
I have resistance to necrotic, so I would take half, so
Correct.
take 5 damage.
Okay, so you would take, yeah. Yep, exactly.
9, 18, 23?
20, 24? No, 23.
Yeah.
23 temporary HP.
Sweet.
Let the manually put my hit points down then, or?
Yeah, for that one you will. So just subtract 9 from your HP. Or I guess, like, I wouldn't say subtract 9, just, yeah, like, a lot of it's mental math, and then you just punch in what your new number is, and it'll adjust your HP accordingly.
So, like, by the HP, just where the number is, I just type in -9.
No, you type in what the new number would be. So I was at 58. I lost 5 because I have resistance, so half. And then I went down to where I typed in 53.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you're at 54. 54 minus 9 is 45, so you would type in 45 as your new number.
Got it.
Oop, that's temporary HP. You have 45 temporary HP, it's okay. It would be, you click on the... click on the green bar, and then it'll pop up what your HP, like...
Oh,
is.
my bad, I'm sorry.
It's okay, man.
No worries.
There.
Okay. And then, yeah, freaking 64. Junior Steen, at a point determined whenever you feel necessary, but no later than next session, you gain the ability to speak, read, and write 2d6 plus 2. Let's roll how many languages it ends up being.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll that?
You know what? Sure. Roll 2d6 for me.
Oops. 2d6.
It's better when the players roll it anyway.
Yeah.
You learn to read and write and speak 9 new languages. ridiculously overpowered, but you guys have gotten that 3 times now.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we got another one where it was like 1d6 plus.
Maybe that's what
right?
it was. It was one with the 2D, because they came out to be almost the same. Because I think someone maxed out the D6. So yeah, this is twice you've gotten 64 for the deck. And then Maleg and Junior Steen, as Junior Steen, you feel even more like vitalized than what you were before, while everybody else feels like they kind of just took like a shock to the chest of some sort. Aethros lessened a little bit. You watch as the cards they almost seem to magically pull themselves back into the deck, appearing initially white until their effect comes over, and then once again returning to that white state and magically returning to the deck itself. Aethros, are you ready to draw cards?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I just remembered that we probably shouldn't be doing this on the ship. So how about we move this to, like, let's say 50 feet away from the ship, just to be safe.
You mean you don't want a giant pit to form inside the middle of the ship?
What, are you
Yeah, that
afraid
would
of
be
me
less
winning?
Wait, what was that?
So what, are you afraid of me winning?
Oh, no. I'm afraid of losing the ship.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, it's kind of a cool ship. I think you'd understand we don't want this to get destroyed. So we're going to move it over to the snow in case, something terrible happens and one of us dies.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, you can put your clothes back on now if you want to.
All right. I get dressed again.
Yeah.
As you're pulling up your garments, you would see Aethros, and I envision that minimally, like, Ebron definitely would join, but I assume that the rest of the party members, at a safe distance, would travel behind Aethros as he ventures out into the snow just outside of town. You would kind of see, like, where you guys are at, and the way the ship is parked. There's like two, like, you'd see Irini and, like, the Snow Elf sisters making their way past the guards going into the gated town. Since it is fully walled around, there's 2 guards with torches standing at the edge of the gates, but they're far enough away that you feel confident they won't directly be affected by anything that you're doing with these cards. As you kind of make yourself some space out in the snowy, the snow that's nearby.
So yeah, I take off all my clothes, put the deck down. I look back at Junior. I'm like, if by chance I turn into a statue, I'm not dead. And then I pull the 2 cards.
Okay, go for it. 42 and 86. All right. Ooh, another new one.
I think they're both new.
You might be right.
86 is, as is 42.
42 is.
Oh,
Unless
no.
I just drew 86. No.
No, yours were. Yeah,
I did it separately,
yeah, you did.
so you could see it in the back.
As you draw your 2 cards, the first one, going from that white to an image, you see an image of what appears to be a woman with, like, snake for hair, and a serpentine-like tongue and piercing red eyes. And as you stare at the card, Aethros, you start feeling a little bit weaker and weaker, as you feel as though there is some form of negative effect that takes hold on you. Aethros, you have a -2 penalty on saving throws, and you are currently cursed. Only a god or the Magic of the Fates card can end this curse.
Sweet.
You
Awesome.
have a continuous -2 to all of your saving throws.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write that down somewhere.
Come here, honey.
Yeah,
Or can I just put in my saving throws in general? Okay. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to remember that, but we want to move on to the next one.
Okay. And then our next one is 86. All right. Oh, okay. Well, the negative is offset by something a little more positive. You see the second image of this, the second card appears to be that of, like, a novice wizard. You see it like holding a staff in one hand and casting out what appears to be like a lightning type spell in the other, out into like the into like an open field. Athros, you can learn 3 cantrips of your choice from any spell list.
Oh, sweet. And as far as like the ability score to use it, can I choose?
It does not specify. So I would say if you if they're like coming from the wizard spell list and you want to use wisdom as your spellcasting ability modifier, I say you should be able to.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely what I want to do.
It
And
makes
not use my
sense.
intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah, usually because like stuff like that, like Magic Initiate specifies, this one does not. So I'm gonna say you can use wisdom for these cantrips. As the two cards, once again, like you feel yourself embedded with this arcane knowledge that kind of emanates out from the card into your being, and you watch as once again the 2 cards return to their very eerie white color, and then, as if pulled directly from your hand, get sent back into the deck. You see Spit as you're like buck naked in the middle of the snow, like look to you and then look to Junior Steen. Who wins?
I mean, I think Junior seen one more than me.
And you would see
That first part is not gonna be fun.
Spit looks to you, Junior Steen. Junior win? Like with a question mark.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Yep. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was just plugging my headphones back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I won. It seems like I won.
Junior win, good game.
Yeah.
I pretty much get down all the way down to my knees because I'm pretty sure that's what I would have to do to give him a low for me, high for him 5.
And he would at the very extent of his like at the very the height of his reach, would reach his hand up and like smack your hand in a very polite high 5.
Because I put down officially that I am 8 foot tall because that is on the taller end. So, and I feel like being a good warrior, that would be, I would be one of the better ones of my race.
Yeah, fair.
So.
For just sheer shits and giggles, Spit's gonna look to you, Athros, and be like, Spit draw cards! Spit Blitzer!
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, Spit plays too.
Oh no, Spit's gonna get murdered!
Spit's gonna, with the deck like extended outward as you're like I just envision you're like midway pulling up your pants, and then Spit's just like, card please. And just like hold the deck out, and you see he tries to pull just 1 card, but you see that 2 of them appear in his hand. For giggles, because Spit hasn't played the game yet.
I thought you were gonna say he's gotta roll a d6 to see how many.
He only saw he saw the 2 of you just roll 2 cards, so he's like,
That's fair. Yep.
He doesn't know all the rules yet. 55. Oh no. Oh no.
Did he get naked?
I feel like he would have. Seeing you 2 strip, he would have.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear very much. Like, for him, it's just like a shirt and like leather, like some form of leather armor. He just like throws it into the snow, and you see a naked Spit, not resistant to cold, so he is freezing his butt off for a moment until he draws his first card, and then immediately erupts into flames for the next minute. This is the second time we've drawn the 56 card.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, hold on, that's 56, not 55.
Oh. 55 is no for the next
no.
minute. Any final object, you touch.
You're right. I was off by 1.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, he like grabs the card and is super excited, and then just him like buck naked, like just erupts out into flames. But Thankfully, unlike Ibrin, he took all of his stuff off, and it's just him. He's on fire. He's like the Human Torch right now, and he like begins rolling in the freaking rolling in the snow to try to kind of put it out, and is not having a lot of success with that. It's 1 minute, and
Oh, Spit's gonna go down.
oh,
That's a lot of damage.
yeah, it's
No,
for every 6 seconds.
Yeah, he takes
It's
10
gonna be-
rounds of damage.
Hold on. I'll do something. I gotta read through my prepared spells. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Yeah, this
he
is the
got-
one that.
He got really fucking.
Oh no.
So after the first round, I would cast a spell to start healing him, just so he doesn't, die.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to do that now, and it might cancel out most of this damage.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Are you gonna do your healing? Okay, your aura. Okay.
Yeah, or vitality. So
You
yeah,
said it's after the first round, so it would be.
yeah.
So it'd be.
So you take 1 round of damage,
Okay.
and then
And then I would say so it'd be rolling 9 times. It'd be 18d6 for your d6 healing if you're just gonna keep that up the whole time, which I envision Aethros would.
yeah.
The number to beat to see if he takes any damage is 32. I rolled very badly on the table. Oh, he's fine. So I envision this going as follows. He bursts into flames, he starts freaking out, and then Aethros is like, okay, I got this. And you just like summon out your aura, and like essentially not taking damage from the heat, or like taking damage but it's healing like immediately. He just like looks at himself, he's like, what do I do with this newfound power? And like
Yeah.
just starts like freaking out. He's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just on fire for the next minute. And then like
Yeah.
at the end of that minute there, you would just see the flames like puff out. And like initially for like that last 6 seconds, his body is kind of like torchy, like a little bit crispy. But then that last round of healing comes in and you see that the black that would be on his skin disappear and like kind of fall off in small chunks as Spit's perfectly fine after that one. Can't say the same for either.
And then I look over at the guards that are probably watching all this.
Yeah, you would see probably one of them making their way towards the group, like after seeing what just happened. They're not like in a rush. They're not running. They see that the fire has like gone out by the time they get there, but they're definitely a little concerned.
Yeah, they're like, what's going on?
What was the second number?
The second number was 97, and that is the first roll again that we've had. So I get to reroll his number.
I was hoping he'd get a homunculus.
All right, what's our new one?
We don't know.
You would
Yeah.
as the second card appears, those of you near Spit, risking being within that 30 feet, would see sprouting out from his back are a pair of softly luminescent feathered wings, and he gains a fly speed of 30 feet. Spit is now winged Spit. They do not disappear.
permanent?
That is permanent.
That is awesome.
Dude,
Spit
that's
can
so
freaking
perfect.
fly now.
He's the perfect archer now.
For real though.
That's amazing. What number was that?
56.
Hmm.
So he got 55, and then 97 as a reroll, and then he rolled 56. So I'm marking the ones that I gotta update on the sheet, so that way I update them in the near future here. But yeah, what a grand time. So Spit, gains these beautiful like luminescent wings that kind of just like jut out of his back, and you would think that them appearing out of nowhere would be like painful, but you see like there's like arcade magics that seem to weave around them as they appear seemingly out of nowhere. And like Spit, not quite understanding how to use these newfound like, muscles and bones on his body, like begins to kind of freak out, and you just see him kind of like float up into the air, like not sure how to control this at the moment. He just starts like, I don't know how to describe it, like a baby bird learning how to fly for the first couple of times, is very roughly flying in the air in random directions.
For what it's worth, Joe, if you want to see the ones that we've gotten so far, there is a thread in the Discord.
Okay.
As the guard would at this point have reached the group here. Is everything all right over here? I saw someone burst into flames, and well, I'm just a little confused. I hope everyone's okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's fine. Look at him. He burst into flame. Now he has wings. That's just a normal thing.
Is he part phoenix? He looks like a little goblin up there.
Listen,
don't you worry
just
about
because
what he is.
just because you don't know doesn't mean you have to judge him.
Yeah.
He's already my best friend.
Yeah.
He turns to face you, Junior Scene, and like underestimates exactly how tall you are. This person being like maybe like 5'6", 5'7". So like honestly, there's like Aethros is taller than him too, and like he just like looks up and like he's like maybe like halfway up your chest, and he has to like keep looking up and like kink his neck to see you, and like just like this tower staring down over him.
Now, can we help you?
You're all part of you're with the ladies who just went in the town, right? The 3 elves and the rather well-decorated woman?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to just make sure. I mean, obviously you're welcome into the town then. Thank you for returning members of the church to us. I'm gonna go back to my post now. Like, just like very intimidated by Junior Steen and just like the sheer chaos that has been going on over here. Eventually you would see Spit like attempt to like do a soft landing, but he as he like tries to do a soft landing, you would see that he like underestimates how high he is and like falls maybe like 6 feet down, so like he's like buried like maybe 2 feet into the snow, just like with the impact that he had, and he's like wiggles himself out from the spot that he's in and stands back up. Spit can fly now.
As the guard is walking away, I'm just gonna pick one off the top of my head here. I look back at him, and in deep speech I say, "Yes, you best be on your way," just to try to further intimidate him.
Roll an intimidation check.
Just try to make it sound as like menacing as possible, but in a completely different language. Intimidation.
While you're not 100% sure exactly how intimidating you don't feel that you were as intimidating as you could have been. This new language being like something that's new for you to verbally speak out loud, versus just thinking about it for the last several like minutes here as time has gone on. You do see that like they kind of turn around and look at you one more time, and then maybe their pace picks up a little bit more, maybe going from a soft walk to a quickened walk to get back to their posts.
Man, if this was Biktun, he would have thrown a snowball at him. But Ewok has not been with the party long enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did it to Biktun. There's no reason that that's not gonna happen to
Nick, if you I'll need you to repeat that for me one more time, because I had my headphones died, so I like lost audio for the period you were talking there. I'm sorry. I'll give it time. It'll happen. As he returns to his post and Spit, kind of dusts himself off of the snow that he was kind of buried in. Also, the fact I realized he never got dressed after that first card, so he was just buck naked in the snow and in the air, this flying little naked goblin. He's gonna put his clothes back on, and like because he has wings now, he's gonna like awkwardly like cut little holes for where the wings have to spread out to get his shirt to stick, like to get his clothes to like stick back on nicely. And Ebron would look to the group. If we're done drawing cards now, maybe we could head into town. Just like a little unamused, but in the typical Ebron fashion, as he's like leaning up against the ship. I've seen enough today. As he like begins walking towards town, with what I assume to be the rest of the party in tow, since we all want to go on a underground adventure potentially. As the party reaches the gates, Junior Steen, you'd see that the guard that had approached all of you does not want to make eye contact with you as you guys walk past. You would see the other guard, not knowing everything about the situation, he just kind of like looks at all of you, reaffirms that you're with like Irini and the Snow Elf sisters, and lets you all pass through the gates in the town. As you do enter town, you would see that they do end up dropping what seems to be a large what's it called? It bothers me. It's on the tip of my tongue. The large gates that they would drop on like a castle. Portcullis, that's it. You can see through to your ship yet, so like it's not like the ship's out of sight, but it's more so just like protection from whatever things might roam in the outside, with the exception of the guards who are stationed outside the gates at this time. As you enter the city, it being super late in the evening or early morning, depending on what kind of person you are, you would see that a lot of the like for sure that like the shops in town at this point, the ones that you would normally go to, such as like Triglio's and Three Flags Sailing, the two ships that you've been to previously in Targos, you feel very confident that they're probably not open this late at night. You would see Ebron kind of just like as you begin walking down the main streets, kind of looking a little more closely at some of the buildings. I'm going to have him do a perception check. I would say, given your background, Maleg, if you wanted to roll a perception check, you could too, if you're interested in trying to find markings on the buildings and stuff like that. I mean, everybody could if they wanted to, but the people who are going to know what to look for are going to be Ebron and Maleg. Some of that same thing with like where the acrobatics was, but it's a bit further down. They're alphabetical. All right, two very wide ends of the spectrum. You would, because Ebron rolled just because it's his character sheet, he rolled a 20. As like the party begins like wandering through some of the streets of Targos, you would see Ebron's like very, very focused. Like he's focused a lot. He's focused on sometimes maybe things that aren't always as important as others, but this time he seems very, very intentional on like looking at the buildings and the architecture of the town. And to like any person who maybe does not understand the context of the situation, he looks like he is like almost like surveying buildings, looking for like faults and flaws. But you would see after maybe 15 or so minutes of searching, he seems to find like what looks to be a marking on the side of a building leading into an alleyway, and he like looks it up and down and like points at it to the party, and it just looks like a bunch of like cracks and like miscellaneous like wear and tear. on the side of a building, but he like marks it as like, this is a sign. This is it's a marking saying that there is. Well, by following this here, it'll take us to some form of shop. Maleg, even though you didn't initially perceive it, you would recognize this marking. Given the background tied to that document I sent you as part of your backstory, for Targos, you know exactly where this is going to lead to and who you're probably going to find on the other end of it. As you would see Ebrin, the party would see Ebrin begin walking deeper into an alleyway. There being no torches in between some of these buildings, like they kind of place like the torches on sconces that are like right outside some of the buildings. Many of the residential like buildings, you don't see torches outside, but you would see like some form of heat source coming from inside to keep the townsfolk warm. Ebrin kind of ventures forth into the darkness of the alleyway a little bit. Is the party gonna follow him? Okay. Let's just see. There's one.
Neither of us know that
as
though.
the flexing duo, and the rest of the party for that matter follow Ebrin into the darkness. You see him like look at more markings that are embedded on the side of some of these buildings, continuing to like occasionally stop and then move forward. One of the things that Ebrin does, like he seems to stop and pause and look at, but you're not quite sure. You're not quite sure as to like what or why he officially stopped. Maleg, you would see, although very worn out, the symbol of the syndicate, a circle with what looks to be a ragged black piece of fabric cut in half with what looks to be a bloody dagger poking out from behind it, kind of signifying the overall nature of the organization. You would see that he as he moves past this symbol here, he like feels up against the wall, and you watch as like he pushes in part of like the siding of this building that you guys are like right next to, and you hear like a clicking sound as to the normal naked eye this wouldn't look like anything out of the ordinary, but part of the siding kind of pops open and you see a doorway that ordinarily was hidden begin to slide open on a hinge, it being tied to a pressure plate. And he like nods and he like is skeptical and he looks at the party and is like, well, I think this is our place. Last chance if you want to dip, but I'm going in. And he's gonna like take a step inside and kind of disappear into the darkness of the building. Yep. What do you want to do? What are you thinking? Okay. I will say that Ebrin was very, very eager to get inside the building, but you're taking a more cautious approach. I'm gonna say make a investigation check to start us off, because I envision Maleg, having experience with these people, is probably looking to see if this thing is booby trapped. With that skeptical nature that you kind of have, Maleg, you and like not knowing exactly like everyone that you're gonna find on the other side, you very cautiously like take a look around before anybody else steps inside. And offhand here, you don't see any traps set out, or at least I should say you don't see any traps that are actively set. You would see that there is like the pressure plate that you're used to seeing in this particular position when people step inside has been deactivated for the time being. You see like pulleys with like tripwires that run along the sides that would lead to, you know, something that probably wouldn't be a good time. You see that whether it's the time of day or maybe someone forgot to set things back up, the traps that ordinarily are here are currently inactive, which is probably why Hedrun disappeared farther ahead, and the party is able to enter inside safely. As the party journeys into the darkness of the room, your eyes begin to adjust. Those of you with dark vision will begin to see the walls that surround this building. This building, for it being on the surface level, you see that this almost doesn't seem to connect to the front of the, like, to the rest of the building at all. This doorway itself it ventures inward about maybe 6 or 7 feet, and then it immediately tapers off, going down into a stairway down underground. You see at the bottom of the stairs that there seems to be at least visible enough a source of light coming somewhere inside, and like as you're beginning to enter, you would see Ibra maybe about 15 to 20 feet ahead of the party. You can see his silhouette of his elven form getting closer to that torchlight than currently the rest of the party, him seemingly more and more eager to figure out what exactly is down here. Don't I have a name for this particular location somewhere? I don't have it on your sheet, but I have it somewhere. Let me see if I can find it quick. Well, where in the world did it go? It was a cool name, too. I do not have a fancy name for this location, so I guess we'll just make one up. As the party, I assume, continues to venture deeper, like following down these stairs going down a total of probably about 20 feet. You can make out the torchlight coming from deeper within as it seems to break off into a longer tunnel. You would see Ibrin reaching the bottom of the stairs and like beginning to step into the torchlight itself, and then disappearing kind of out of eyesight as the angle of the stairs and the ceiling don't give you full visibility of what's up ahead. As those of you following behind here would reach the bottom of the staircase, you would see this long hallway extending outward with a couple of rooms along the sides, jiggling the door handles as you go forward. You don't like they seem to be locked. As you would see Ibrin again about that 20-ish feet up ahead, as he comes around to the edge of this hallway, veering to the right over towards an opening. You would see that he's abruptly stopped before he can take another step forward. A rather large arm extending out from the edge of this wall, that being all you're kind of able to make out at this time. As you continue to move closer, venturing towards Ibrin himself, you begin to make out what looks to be a rather, like, a very, very tall orc, very built, wearing, like, what doesn't appear to be, like, any form of leather armor. He appears to be just wearing, like, standard commoner's attire. But his two tusks that he has emanating, like, coming out of his mouth, reach up to probably the top of his cheekbone, signaling that he's probably, you estimate, probably in his mid to late 20s, those of you who have experience with orcs. And he simply is like blocking Ibrin's path. I said, what's the passcode? And Ibrin just kind of looks at, he looks at the orc and he looks at the party. Why do we need a passcode? Those without a passcode can't come in. If you know it, you may enter. If you don't, and he like points back towards the direction you guys came from. Turn and leave. You probably have at least he's pretty tall. You still have about a foot on him though. As you puff out your chest and you step right up in his face. He looks up at you. He kind of puffs himself up a little bit too, and gives you the exact same look that you're giving him. And he once again, after you say like, what if we don't want to give you the pass? What if we don't want to give you the passcode? He points back down the hallway where you guys came from. Then you can turn around and leave. And just like without breaking eye contact, just continues to stare at you. You would see, I would say, it would be Junior Steen and I'm gonna say Miris or Athros. One of you two make a perception check. Maleg, I want you to make a history check for me. Alright, Joe, I sent you a message. Alright, Miris and Junior Steen. In particular, Miris, as you're like looking around, like you're seeing like these events kind of unfold and just like not knowing where you truly are, and like this newfound party member like trying to be his own bouncer, and like this unfamiliar territory, not sure where we're going. There's a little bit of anxiety there. And because of that, you're not really sure, like, you don't really focus on what's beyond the doorway that this orc is blocking. Junior Steen, as you tower over this individual and you see inside, you see that there's a decent number of individuals who are, like, essentially, like, it almost feels like it's an underground tavern of some sort, as you see tables scattered across the room. You see a tiefling woman manning the bar almost on the other side, and you see that very closely behind this orc, not in the doorway but like seemingly like on standby, you see another individual, this person being a Goliath, very similar in height to yourself, very beefy boy, but doesn't have like, you don't see like, as far as like weapons or equipment, you don't see anything on their person that like to you would raise a major alarm, but you see that there seems to be another person kind of just waiting to see if this orc has it handled or not. There's only one way. You can only make that happen if you have the passcode. If you don't have the passcode, and like he's like getting ready to like just say, you can turn around and leave. Once again, you hear being like, yeah, we can turn around and leave. The orc? Make a... Oof, okay. Make a strength check, because you're a strong boy. You would be able to lift many things. Let's take a look. Okay. So it's going to be a strength check, and he's going to. It's going to be contested. As you're going to go in to try and grab him, he's going to try and like lock your arms to like put the two of you in like a, you know, like kind of like a standoff. Of course. Okay. As I said, as you try to go in to pick him up, he's going to go in and try to like kind of like lock your arms with his to put the two of you into like this like strength-based standoff. But he did not succeed. So as you're like towering over this guy, you like pick him up and are getting ready to move him like inside, and you see finally the Goliath that's around the corner. Big beefy boy. He comes around and he just like with one large hand grabs the like the shoulder of like the orc that's like about to be carried into the room and like pushes him down onto the ground. And you see like him you know, very seldom do you see an individual at your height. He looks over at you and he's just like, brother, do you have the passcode? Like, not brother, but brother, like, essentially like a brother in arms. Like,
yeah.
Not in no hostile way, just like kind of sick of the shit. Just like, reaches out to you.
Can we come in?
The Goliath looks down at you, Athros, and he just like sighs and he just like shakes his head and he's just like, that is not the passcode. We are very, very specific. Do you have the passcode? And you would see this very large man look down at the very small Maleg. It's okay, I should have put a pronunciation. It's Triglio. It's okay. I should probably put an abbreviation here just in case. As you say that, you watch as very, very quickly the demeanor of both the orc and the Goliath. Well, the demeanor of the Goliath doesn't really change, but the demeanor of the orc who's been blocking your way or trying to block your way until Junior Steen picked him up, it completely changes, and he steps out of the way, and he's just like, "You may enter." And then you just hear a sigh come out of like a relief-filled sigh, kind of come over the Goliath who was standing on the other side of the door, just like, "Thank you," and just like lets the party enter. And Ebron just like looks down at you, Maleg, and he's just like, "How did you know that?" Like he's just like skeptical and confused. You can try, as he like looks up at you as you're passing by, but you won't win. Oh, I just meant like his legs were like his feet were off the ground, and he just took his like hand and put it on the shoulder to push his feet back down. So he's not like on the ground. He's just like,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just like back toward.
he was grounded, so to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Maleg, I want you to make a deception check for me, as Ebron's very skeptical of this being just a lucky guess. Yeah. And Ebron's gonna contest it with insight. Um, just so everyone knows I'm not cheating. As Ebron looks down at you, Maleg, you're because you wear like a mask most of the time, don't you? Or do you only wear it occasionally? Okay. While it's a bit hard to see visibly that this is definitely some form of lie, he's able to kind of read and like sort of like your he's looking for tells to see like when you're lying and when you're not, and he just like gives you this, like he like squints his eyes down at your smaller form. A little bead of sweat maybe comes over your face from behind your mask a little bit. You know, I haven't known you very long. I don't like liars all too much, but while I don't know why I feel this way, I feel as though you're not being honest with me, but it got us in the door, and I'm not gonna raise a stink about it. Thank you for getting us in here. Like Aethro said, we have money to spend, and party kind of makes their way inside this underground tavern-looking place, and you see this this red-skinned tiefling with long black hair standing behind the counter. You see that at this counter there's no, like, while there's tables set up and there's like probably close to, I want to say probably 15 people like in here like having some form of beverage, you see that there's no like seats arranged around the counter that she was standing at before, or that she is currently standing at, sorry. And that as she sees all of you approach, she looks kind of all of you up and down. Maleg, you being familiar with this individual, know exactly who she is. As she scans over most of the people in the party. Well, what brings all of you? What brings all of you to my humble abode? I've heard the mention of money to spend on goods. Might I ask how you found this place? And you would hear Ebron kind of chime in. I followed the marks on the side of the building. It really wasn't too hard. And she you hear her kind of chuckle a little bit. Well, a well-trained eye among you. Yes, now that since you've gotten past my guards, who stand entrance to those who accidentally find their way here, there's many things that a person could come here for. Are you here for drinks with like-minded individuals? Are you here to purchase maybe something we've acquired along the way here in 10 Towns? Or are you here for work? Are you here for... And Ebron stops her as she's describing all the different services that are offered here. He's like, I'm here to see what you have for wares. Looking for poisons and magical artifacts and such. What do you got? And she, if anybody else is looking for things in particular, feel free to chime in. Otherwise, I'm just assuming that because I know Ebron was looking for stuff like this, that he probably would want to take hold of some of this conversation. She pulls out a very well decorated box that has I guess ornately carved into the side several different sigils and what looks to be in the center of the top what do you want to say, not a painting but a carving, a carved mural of sorts of what seems to be a rather large tree, its roots spread throughout the ground and a sun in the background, what would be a nice sunset type picture carved into wood. She opens up the top of this large box, this box being maybe about a foot wide by maybe I don't know, 6 or 7 inches, a foot wide, 6 or 7 inches long, and then maybe 2 to 3 inches tall. You see her turn a key that she pulls from her side, opens it up, and she sets a couple different vials out on the table. If you're looking for poisons, I have a couple to offer. The first of sorts, we call Crimson Scorpion. You apply it to weapons or it gets ingested. But once it's inside the body, it does continual damage to said body for about 10 minutes or so. Really good for assassination purposes. And then like the vial itself, you see like the top of the vial, just to distinguish it, has like a small red ribbon with like a scorpion's tail kind of curled over the cork, and then like the point of the scorpion's tail would be like poked into the cork itself. And she like puts that one off to the side, still visible for like people to look at. The poison itself is a powder, and it's like following that red motif. It's a very deep crimson powder that can be applied. She pulls out she holds out the second vial, and you see that this one also being a different form of powder, it being a black color instead. You see what looks to be on the top of the cork, the image, or like engraved on the top of the cork, the image of a mushroom. This one here, we call Blight's Touch. It's from fungi found in the Underdark. And when it touches the skin, well, needless to say, whatever it touches begins to corrode immediately. Lasts about a minute though, so it's not a very long-term poison. And she puts that one off to the side and points at the third one that she has available. And you see that this one, again being a different powder, this one being a green color, with a continuing with that motif, a green ribbon that's tied along the top. And you see that the cork, the top of the cork itself, has the image of like an open maw snake with like its fangs fully visible. This one here we call Serpent's Whisper. It, when put into a liquid or blown into the air, it's a slow-acting toxin. And those who are subjected to it and their body doesn't fight it off, well, they're in for a rough ride for about 4 hours. Many people like this one when it comes to taking out targets, particularly popular targets, where you need to leave little trace you were there. And she has them out in front of Ebrin, and he kind of ponders what he would go for. The hard part with him not being here is I can't fully make the decision for him, so I'm going to, whatever purchases he ends up making, I will have him decide based off of his funds. I'll just send him a list. There's more powders, there's more poisons and stuff too. So anybody who's interested in some of these, or if they're interested in prices on some of these, she hasn't described that particular piece yet, because, I don't know, she's just being quiet about it. She would, look at other vials that she has from hidden within this box. If you're looking for things that can petrify or put people to sleep, I have supply of that. It just depends on what you're looking for. And she will give Ebrin time to continue his purchase. And so there's a couple of different sleep powders. There is a couple of petrification powders. And then there's other goods that she has available to sell. So she would describe the items that she has. So she has three different sleep powders that have different durations and constitution saves and stuff like that. She has the 3 poison powders that I mentioned, and she has a couple of different petrification powders too. That she'll describe each of them in a little bit of detail. Again, they all have just different saving throws. So if you're looking for high dosage versus high duration, I have items here. I can post what they are in the chat. I'll just share them with you right now in the general chat. It'll just be easier that way. Oh, fuck, I'm over my character limit. I don't want to try Nitro. How do I get rid of Nitro? I don't want that on my thing. Mother trucker. Alright, it's just gonna be a fucking message file, apparently. That you can expand if you need to. It's gonna be awful, the format. I apologize. But I guess a person could just, like, copy it over to something else if they needed to. As she, like, looks over, like, whatever interest Ebron has for the poisons. I don't know if anybody has discussed that with, like, I don't know if you guys have, like, discussed that as a group at all, because I know you guys are thinking some shady shit with Valine. I mean, what? I don't know that. As she'll, like, as he, like, thinks over the poisons and stuff, like, the poisons and the powders, he's gonna look over to the party and then also look at the, look at this tiefling woman. You know, I never asked you your name. And, like, she would, like, chuckle as, like, she, like, he's, like, as, like, Ebron holds maybe one of the potion vials, or the poison vials in his hand, and then puts it back down. She's like, my name's Alira. And it's a pleasure to make acquaintance with those who find their way here. And, like, Ebron would, like, nod up and down. Alira, you mentioned that you'd have more than, well, poisons to sell. What kind of other items do you have to offer? And she has a large, like, grin on her face. Maleg, you've seen her when she's, like, when she feels confident she's going to strike some form of deal. This grin kind of, like, comes over her face. She runs, she opens up a larger crate that's sitting behind the counter, and you see she pulls out what looks to be some form of black cloak. And as she puts it on, like, herself, you would see that she, like, snaps her fingers, and as she snaps her fingers, you'd see that the lights in the room, almost all in, like, a synchronous manner, go dim, and as, like, some, like, look around because the lights begin to dim, you see that she kind of, like, disappears from behind the counter, almost like the darkness that has overtaken certain areas of this room. You watch as, like, out of nowhere she seems to, like, blend in, coming out from a shadow from a farther point in the room, almost as if she was there the entire time. So the cloak that she's wearing, it almost as if it's imbued with some form of shadowy magic. It would give the user the ability to blend into darkness, which gives you advantage on dexterity stealth checks while in dim light or darkness, and then once per day you can become invisible for a minute or until you make an attack. So basically you can use the invisibility spell for a minute once per day, and you have advantage on stealth checks with this cloak. She pulls out a couple of scrolls that she has in her inventory, in particular a scroll of darkness, a scroll of greater invisibility, and a scroll of cloud kill. That she kind of talks a little bit about for each of them. She pulls out a very potent vial. This one having, like, it being, like, a black liquid with a skull and crossbones being used as, like, the top of the cork for this one. Essentially, it's a very, very potent poison that would allow a person, well, besides taking poison damage, it also paralyzes the target. But once it's applied, it has to be used within 10 minutes. So very, very strong, very good for, like, in combat, but, like, not good if you're trying to draw something out, or if you're, like, applying it and then waiting, like, as if you're stealthing ahead or, you know, surveying or something. She has a amulet that that would allow the user to cast silence. Once per day? Once per day, for free. She has a vial that seemingly a vial of some form of magical liquid that, when bursted, will ignite anything that it touches with shadowy flames that continue to burn for a minute, and it can only be extinguished by magical means. She has a ring of what she's called a ring of mind shielding, which basically means your thoughts can't be read and are immune to detection from divination magic. And it also allows you, for those who can read alignments through like abilities and stuff, it allows you to hide your alignment so people can't determine like what your alignment is through the power of spells or other abilities. Like paladins, I think, have the ability to maybe sense a person's alignment or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a higher level thing. Basically, she also has a hold on, what's it called? Like a generic version of a Boots of Elven Kind. Boots that muffle the sound made by the wearer, grants advantage on stealth checks and immunity to being tracked by sound. So it's like a great value version of Boots of Elven Kind. Not quite having all the same effects, but the major one. She has what she calls bracers of deflection, which act a lot like the oh god, there's a feat that it acts a lot like. Let me see what it's called. Because basically, if you're being attacked by a ranged attack, you can give yourself +3 you can give yourself +3 to your AC against that attack. So like if you're being attacked by an arrow, you can give yourself +3 AC as a reaction to deflect that arrow. But it's ranged attacks, which means it could be possibly spells too, if you have ranged spell attacks. And that's pretty much what she has to offer right now. So she has several different poisons, or powders, like powders of varying sorts. She has scrolls. She has some items. Has not described the price on any of them quite yet. Looking to see about people's interest in anything first before she goes into that kind of detail. So they're called the Boots of Silent Stride. They muffle all sound made by the wearer, and they grant advantage on stealth checks, and you're immune to being tracked by sound. But I guess that's kind of like repeating itself. So basically, you don't make any noise while you wear them, like your feet don't make any noise, and you have advantage on stealth checks. She as she like has the boots up on the counter, Athros, she watches as you pull out this cloak of resistance, this like silvery, ornately decorated cloak. Tell me a bit more about this cloak of yours here. I don't think I've caught your name yet. Holy looking individual of Saloon. Make a persuasion check. Okay. She's gonna, the cloak being like laid on the counter, she's going to take her hand and like run it over the materials and like look at the quality of the item here. I tell you what, I can't do a one-to-one trade, but I'll take a good chunk of the money off of these boots as if you trade this in as part of the purchase. How does that sound? I was thinking maybe like 80. Could do 80%. you have a good eye. You have a good ear for this sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
The boots themselves. More than a generous trade with this cloak, but no. The boots themselves run about 1,500 pieces. I'd be willing to part with them if you trade this in and, you know, throw a little more money down. We'd be looking at, is it 300 gold pieces? That's 20%, right? I'm not crazy. My math sucks sometimes. Yeah, so it'd be 300 gold pieces. I think that's more than a fair trade on this one. I'm letting these go for a good chunk here. Make an insight check too. Make an insight check for me. Yeah, you feel that she's probably trying to squeeze as much gold out of you as she can on these boots. And, like, her being kind of called out like that, she lets out a small sigh, and then will raise a hand up to you in an agreeing tone. A 1-to-1 trade, then. I do enjoy this cloak. I think it'll make a fine addition to the goods.
Yeah.
It is very fine craftsmanship. You flatter me. This woman being very, very well dressed and a bit well endowed in and of herself. She's like, you know, the flattery. You flatter me. This would not be for myself, but I do have people who would be very interested in this item. A 1-to-1 trade then. And she kind of shakes your hand and passes the boots, takes the cloak. Now, my friends, was there more business, more interest that people might have had in some items here? And Ibram would, I think, I'm torn. I'm not going to say... Ibram will make a purchase. I don't know what that purchase is, but I will take the boots off of his possible purchase list. How much money does he even have? I feel like he doesn't have that much money. 3,000 gold. He has money. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think...
I think you're right.
Very little, if anything.
Yeah.
There's also...
I think it was...
Our party in general should have a lot of money.
I think it was 2,500 that you guys got. Because you got... Because it was like you guys got like half your amount up front for the journey. Because it was originally supposed to be 5,000, I think, for the party. And you guys persuaded her to be 5,000 apiece, and she didn't have a problem with that as long as you guys actually did the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Arini has money. Does Spit even have a spot on his page for money as a NPC? Let's see. He does. Okay, I feel better now. Okay. Arini would probably look to see what the party is thinking, but she's in particular, she kind of has her eye on the scroll of Cloudkill, but it hasn't like really verbalized anything. But you can kind of see her eyes kind of darting, like back and forth between like looking at the party, looking at the tiefling woman, and then like looking back at the scroll. So if nobody jumps on that, she'll probably jump on that one. And then I'll leave that open for Ebrin. At some point, Ebrin will make a purchase of something. Whatever we purchase here today, he'll just like either they'll have a duplicate, with the exception of the boots, or like the magical items that they're selling. Like they won't have duplicates of those, but like the powders and stuff, the poison and stuff like that. Like he'll have the ability to purchase those. But one of the things that I'm gonna have him do a wisdom check, because one of the things that Ebrin does that it has like a 50-50 chance of actually being beneficial is he mentions that you guys are the heroes of Bryn Shander.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if he would mention that here. So we're gonna do a wisdom check on Ebrin. And he rolled an 8. Okay. In my mind, that is something meaning that he would consider mentioning it. Let's do a... Yeah, nope, that'll do it. As like, he's looking over some of like the prices on certain things. Like the poisons themselves range anywhere from like 250 gold up to, up to the petrification powders ranging like all the way up to 2,000 gold per vial, because it takes a lot to make some of these things and like to smuggle them around 10 towns. One of the things that Ebrin always does when shopping or trying to get information that he's going to try to do here is upon making his transactional, or getting ready to make his transactional purchase, he's going to say, well, you may not know who we are, but after all, we are the famous heroes of Bryn Shander. And you see like the like Alira's face doesn't seem to be phased at all in the slightest. Maleg, you can tell that was probably not the greatest thing to say verbally out loud. As Alira, like for like a very solid like 5 or so seconds, like stares at Ebrin, and then just like over sarcastically is like, "What? The heroes of Bryn Shander?" And Ebrin's just like, "Yeah, like we saved Bryn Shander a couple of times actually. We're very well known there." And like you would see that like the tone, or you'd feel that like the tone inside this building, this room, kind of shifted when he said things initially. Like I would say most of the party, like you look around and you see that many of the people who are like enjoying themselves, having a good time, now seem to be kind of watching the party closely. They haven't gotten up to do anything, but they're like those who are like, some of the people are like taking a drink, but like keeping their eyes to see like what the party does. Maleg, you know that like things that kind of get said from here on out can make things kind of either dicey or relieve that tension. Just depends on how Alira handles things and how like what gets kind of said by Ebrin going forward, or any of the party members going forward, because suspicion is now raised by many of the people in the room here upon the mentioning of hero. So, these great heroes of Bryn Shander have blessed us with their presence down here in the underground. Please, what do you desire, heroes of Bryn Shander? And Ebrin's like, well, for one, discount on these prices. And you would hear her say, oh, I'm so sorry. For the heroes of Bryn Shander, I should have thought about that. And like he like looks at maybe one of the vials of the petrification powder, in particular one that's called basilisk dust, valued at 1,200 gold pieces per vial. strong saving throw. It causes the restrained condition if they fail. A second time, it fully petrifies them like it would for a basilisk in general, after taking some damage. And he's like, this one's like, I feel like I could probably go somewhere else and get this one for a little cheaper. And she's like, oh, the hero's a Brinchander. I should have thought about that a little more. Please, by all means, I'll give you a discount. And then she immediately, like, you would assume that we would go from, like, 1,200 gold pieces down to, like, a lower price. You hear her say, 1,350 gold pieces. And, like, Ibram pauses for a moment. That's not exactly a discount. She's like, and you, as heroes, as people who formed a good relationship with those above ground, venture into my establishment demanding a discount. Well, and she like pauses, specifically, you there, young elf. And he's like, well, I'm not young, but I'm probably older than you. And she's like, that's not the point. Like, you come in here asking for a discount on goods, but go by the title of hero. And she's like, look around you. None of these people affiliate the word hero with something good. And like, Ibram takes a look around after like looking at the vial and kind of realizes that a mistake might have been made there. Okay. Well, maybe not a discount then. He looks to the rest of the party after he like at face value will make whatever purchase he makes. He's like, is there anything that anybody else needs from down here? Otherwise, I'm starting to feel like we might have lost our welcome down here. I will say in this moment, Maleg, you would see that Alira makes like extended eye contact with you for maybe about 30 or so seconds before returning back to the party, like vision-wise. Yeah, I think I'm good. Like Ibram would say, feeling the kind of tension in the room, not really like quite shifting, not really wanting to stir the pot any more than maybe he already started to. I think we're good, guys. We're good guys, but I think we're good here. I'm just making things worse.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go. Let's go see if the others like found their way to the church or something, and just like begins to like in a concerned Ibram fashion begins to make his way towards the exit. Yeah,
Room.
absolutely. Ooh, a nice roll. Of the probably about like at this point in the evening of the like 15 to 20 people that are sitting around tables right now, you estimate that probably about 2/3 of them have some form of armament on them. Not all of them wearing armor of any sort, but you see that there's like some people who do have like swords strapped to their side or like are kind of grasping at like by their leg, and like you look down and you see that they're grasping at like a dagger of some sort. The majority of the people here seem to have something. The only people that you know 100% don't have any form of like weapons on them that you can see are the bouncers at the door. They seem to be very adamant about the, unarmed, like intimidation / they're probably good at fist fighting.
Yeah.
But about 2/3 of them you estimate probably actually have weapons. The other ones it's hard to tell from where you're positioned in the room. That sounds like Athros.
Not intimidated. Just like, yeah.
And what about you, Junior Steen? You've been very casual since you got allowed entry. Um, as for yourself, Miris,
So just
fair. I'm not sure if you, because I mean, no, you would know what most of their stores usually are, Maleg. Whether or not you wanted to purchase, you could. Like, it's not like to you, in comparison to the rest of the party, the hostility doesn't seem to be the same. Seems to be much less than what, like, you don't feel as worried that like you would get stabbed here, right now. Okay. As the party makes their way past the bouncers once again and back out into the moonlight, Maleg, you being the last person out of the out of this underground establishment, you hear Alira call out to you. Interesting company you're keeping nowadays, Maleg. As you like make your way past the bouncers on your way out. And like as you're making your way up the stairs, you hear her like it kind of echoes across the walls. Hope to see you all soon. And like a small chuckle, and then that's about all you hear as you make your way back up the stairs, back out through that doorway. Whoever I mentioned, probably either Maleg or maybe like Ebrin, being the people, whether he's the first or the last person. As the last person exits the door, it kind of gets pushed closed again. As the party makes their way out of the alleyway that they had found themselves in. Ebrin seems visibly in some way upset, but he kind of is that way a lot, so it's hard to tell if this is new or if this is just a normal upset moment. But he like looks at the party and looks at Maleg. You know, part of me wanted to say something about bringing this establishment to what was his name? Nerth, the speaker's attention, but something tells me that would have made things worse down there, so I kind of bit my tongue.
What's her name?
Hedrun? I told you I'm trying to get better about that. I had a little, I mean, it's not that I don't think that you're a very, very strong Aethros, because you've proven that many times over, but I mean, we haven't seen, and like looks over at like Maleg and like on his other side, the towering figure of Junior Steen. I haven't seen either of these two fight yet, and I don't want to lose another member of the Broken so soon after we just lost Ono and by extension Biktun. Kind of trying to maintain some stability here this time. I didn't realize it was out of my norm, and like Spit has been with the party like this entire time. You see, I want Aethros, I want you to make a perception check for me. And I also want Maleg to make one too. That's okay. You do what you gotta do. Um, the building that the underground stronghold or whatever, the underground uh establishment uh was embedded within, has more of a wooden exterior. Many of the buildings inside inside Targos and like the neighboring towns are kind of a blend between stonework and woodwork. This one was primarily wood though. The building behind you, so like because you're in an alleyway, so the one building is wood, the other one is primarily stone with like wood accents. Um, okay, as as you look down, Maleg and Athros, um, you see you see Spitz seems to be holding something in his hands, and like he's been mostly like pretty quiet since you guys like went down there, but coming back out, you don't remember him having something in his hands when you went down there, but he seems to have potentially taken something from the establishment while the lady was preoccupied. Maybe you got a little five-finger discounty on the group here. Um, as you took a little closer, because you did roll a 22 there, well, like that's about all you can just say. He must have taken something from this underground establishment. Um, Captain Athros, you see that he seems to be holding in his hand the amulet that was mentioned, that allows the person to cast the spell Silence once per day, and he's like is looking it over, and you see that there's like this it's like gold primarily on the outside with like a small like ruby embedded on the inside, and then like between the ruby and the gold outer lining you see like the embedding of like various runes that give it its magical property. um Sorry. As he holds this in his hand, he kind of looks to Athros, he looks to the party, who a couple people like Irene. Oh no, Irene's not with you. Kind of like look over and see this little goblin being kind of giddy, and he's like, because like it's an amulet, but it has like the chain that you would use to like actually wear it like a necklace. And he like looks to Athros for like approval to put it on. Like,
Yeah. You should. I've never.
Spit super excited puts on the amulet, and as he's getting ready to talk, you watch as no audio or no voice comes out from his body. Like you can't hear him speaking at all now, as he has the amulet on his person.
Say something.
You watch as like he positions himself to like let out his loudest scream, but nothing comes out. And he like looks down at himself, and he like pats himself down like to make sure that he's like not dreaming or something. And like he looks up at the party, and he just like tries to talk, but like he's still nothing. He's like not able to talk. As he tries to pull it off, he like tries to pull it up over his head, but you watch as like the chain around the amulet pulls tighter, like around his pulls tighter around his neck, and it can't fit over the top of his head anymore. You see him begin to panic a little bit.
Just looking.
Make a persuasion check for Spit. I would say most likely to try and help you out, Ebrin or someone would like chime in and be like, "Yeah, it's gonna be okay. You're very strong. Like, you'll be fine." to like give you advantage on this persuasion check. Okay. And you see, like, even though he was like panicking, like you could almost like see his heart like popping from his chest a little bit. He like takes some really deep breaths and like begins to try and calm himself little by little, and like slaps himself like on both cheeks, and then like looking up at Junior Steen and like looking over at like the party, begins to go into like this little display of like flexing. And then he remembers that he has wings, and he like uses those wings to float up into the air, and then continues to do his flexing while like spinning around in the air because he can fly now. Like a little like one of those ballerina figurines, but it's spit flexing instead of a ballerina dancing. Yeah, yeah.
For my armor.
Of course.
And
Okay. The nice thing is that there is a thing I can add to your character sheet for unarmed strikes. I'll just throw on your character sheet so that way you don't have to like just make a blank, like a bland roll. Because I'm assuming this will probably be something you do a couple of times. Like
yeah, here and there.
just want to make sure it's strength based. Yep. Okay. So you should have unarmed strike on your character sheet now.
Where?
Should be under your weapons. All right. As you go through to punch the wall, a 16 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll for damage for me. It happens. You slip on some ice, hit yourself, stuff like that. So what you've seen of these structures is that for the most part they are rather thick, given that they're trying to stave off the cold. So you go in on this wooden building next to you, and you go in for a punch. And while you don't punch fully through the structure, your punch has a lot of oomph behind it. And you're able to leave a like fist mark, like a mark from like your fingers all the way up to your knuckles inside the wood of the wall. It goes in pretty deep, but it doesn't punch all the way through. But whoever comes through here is not going to be able to patch that without doing a bit of work to make that happen. Wood filler doesn't exactly exist up here, so
Yeah.
okay, Frieza. You're like,
Go up to the wall. And then...
the mark that was there suddenly disappears with all but one finger. As the wood repairs itself back to how it was before, you would have never known it had been punched. As Ebron like looks things over, he's like, okay. I don't want to say he's our new Biktun, but he reminds me a lot of him in physical structure, albeit taller and less furry. I'm okay with this. And
Yeah.
you've proven yourself quite resourceful too, Maleg. As like he like looks down at you. I don't know how you fight. I'm sure I'll find that out soon enough, but you've proven your resourcefulness up to this point already. And then looks over at the like still floating spit kind of up in the air. And now spit has wings, so that's a thing. Yeah, let's go. I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling a bit better. Maybe we probably could have taken them down there. We would have been fine.
Yeah, absolutely could have. But the thing, Spit stole something from them, and they're like thieves. So
Yeah, I give Spit a lot of credit. Although, I was hoping he would have stolen something maybe a little more useful. But I guess he didn't know. He didn't know what would happen. And Spit's just like, still silently just like flexing up in the air. You can tell that the way he's like, the way his mouth is moving, that he's probably trying to like say something that he normally does in Goblin, like Spit do good or like Spit strong. But again, nothing comes out. It's just, you can hear the flutter of his wings, but you can't hear anything coming out of his mouth. And
wait. You can.
yeah, I suppose that would work.
Mm-hmm.
As I feel like he would. And if he doesn't, you guys, it'll be fine. He'll use his Psionic Whispers ability to link. Let's see. There's 5 of you here right now, plus Spit, so it'd be 6. He'll spend one of his die and then his free one to link everybody together. And now, as he links everybody together, you can hear Spit talking in his mind. Spit strong, Spit flex, like Spit fly, just like uttering little things to himself. And then Ibrahim would be like, "It's good to hear your voice." And then you'd see him like kind of freak out a little bit because he's not normally the one who gets linked to, so he's kind of caught off guard a little bit. He like falls to the ground, like stops his like flapping of his wings and just like falls to the ground, and is just like looking around like how did they do that? And then sees Ibrin, and then there's a small like grin coming over his face, and Spit like we'll spend a couple of moments here trying to figure out how to telepathically talk to people, like using his inner voice, since he's not the most intelligent boy, but he'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll be fine, Spit. Don't worry. But the big thing is now. I want to use this.
Yes. Also true. As Spit learns how to talk telepathically, and as the party kind of the most of you who are here kind of group together after coming out of the underground establishment that Maleg would know as the Syndicate, location of the Syndicate. I think that's where we're going to end it for today, as the party kind of prepares to go and meet up with Irini, Maitra, Ziena, and Atina somewhere in town at the church.